Get into the nitty gritty of the episode, and do you know what?
The nitty gritty. You're not allowed to say that now.
Why can't you say nitty gritty?
It's something to do with the slave ships, I believe.
Is it?
And the stuff at the bottom of the slave ships was called nitty gritty.
The stuff at the bottom of the slave
Something-
ships. What, the slaves?
I don't know. No, like the dirt on the ships, I think. I read something about why you can't say it. Am I on the right lines?
I don't know. I'm just having a look now. Nitty gritty. Emerged as Neriti, the French colonists called the African slaves and Creoles la population Neritique. So to get down to the nitty gritty, as the English speakers pronounced it, it was to mix with the people downtown. Oh, yeah. So yeah. But the phrase as we use it is that it's the most important aspects of practical details of a subject or situation, the nitty gritty.
Oh, you've read the Oxford Dictionary explanation, haven't you?
Right in front of me.
Right
Here,
in
right there. Have you ever?
Have I? Oh, God, go on.
Have you ever walked headfirst into a castle?
I've not walked headfirst into a castle, but I have posed into a lamppost.
Okay, yeah. Well, I did on Thursday.
How did you miss the castle?
Well, it was a pretty big castle with.
I get that. I'm asking you how you missed it.
A really small door.
Did you scalp yourself?
Yes, that's exactly what happened.
You did, didn't you?
So we went to Kenilworth Castle on Thursday, and the good lady wife is now, she has been for a short while now, an English Heritage member.
Yes.
And I too would probably be an English Heritage member if I had more time to go and visit the sites, but I don't think I'd get my money's worth. But it's become a thing that the missus and my daughter do together. They go and visit all these heritage sites, go on big walks, look around castles, and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So we all had the day off on Thursday, and they were going to go on one of these heritage sites, and they said, "Would you like to come with us?" And I'm like, "No, I'm just going to stay in the house and be lonely." Of course, I want to fucking come with you. So yeah, we went. It was I don't know what the deal is with me recently, but I've all of a sudden, because they never used to bother me, but I've all of a sudden, I don't like car journeys. I don't feel well when I'm travelling.
Sitting in the front or the back?
I was sitting in the back this time.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, because they've got their little routine, and I didn't want to disturb it, so I was like, I'll sit in the back and I'll just stay out your way. But yeah, I felt sick as a dog.
It's general travel sickness. It's because you're in the back.
Yeah.
You can't see the horizon coming.
Oh, right.
It's just travel sickness.
Oh, okay. Well, I've never had it before, so I wasn't sure what it was.
It's because you're old.
Yeah. That is
Welcome to weird shit that happens to us when we get old.
Yeah, so it was about an hour and 40 getting down there, but we got there, we parked up, it was lovely. Fucking huge though. Like the ones they've been to before haven't been that big.
So Kenilworth Castle. Kenilworth. Carry on, my old boy.
It's not too far from Warwick, I think. Warwick Castle. It's kind of like towards Coventry, or could be just past Coventry, I'm not too sure. So yeah, we get there and we sign in and everything, whatever you have to do, scan your membership card, blah, blah, blah. And then off we go to the castle. It was massive. It was absolutely massive. And as much as a lot of it is derelict now, it's wasted away. The bits that are still intact are very tall.
So like the tea room.
The height.
Yeah.
The height of the castle is still there. It's not failed from the top down. It's just like bits in the middle have kind of disappeared, but the actual shell of the castle is still there. So what English Heritage have done is they've built steps inside the castle, so you can walk all the way up to the top.
Yeah.
And check out the view, and it's really good. I've never been to an English Heritage site before that's as detailed as that one, and they put these like information stands, and it explains to you the way you are facing now. This would have been dot 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 dot. These would have been here. This would have been there, and you can like visualize
Yeah.
what was going on. But they've also still got the old stone steps that would have originally been the way you get up the castle. You know, you go into the fucking corners, and what was the deal with steps? In the 1300s, why are the giant steps? I swear people were smaller back then. Why are the steps really big?
Oh, let's not go into this one. I can see where this is going. This is getting straight conspiracy. This
So
is.
the steps are huge, right? So we're walking like through these spiral this tight, really thin spiral staircase up, and then on the way back down, it's like certain areas are fenced off. You can't go down there, up there, in there, blah blah blah. But this wasn't fenced
Do you
off.
know why the spiral staircases in castles go up that way?
No.
Because when you're getting attacked in a castle, if you notice, if you're coming down, it gives the person with the right hand an advantage.
Okay. It wouldn't have done in this castle.
Or
They
it
went
gives
the
you
other way.
the person with the right hand an advantage when you're fighting.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I
true.
never knew that. So yeah, we're coming down these stairs, and it's like, oh, there's another. You can go down, like, but it was pitch black. I'm like, can you go down there? Is that a thing? So we're like, fuck it, let's go down. So we go down, and you end up in this bigger room, quote unquote, and then inside this bigger room, there's a little room, a little entrance. So Littlin goes in, and as I'm walking in, I hear her go, "Be careful, the ceiling's low," and she gets to low and low as I headbutt the fucking entrance. Mate,
As you're semi-unconscious on the floor.
I bounced back.
did you?
I bounced back, man. I proper hit it with some force.
On the front.
Like the
Just
top
under the
up here,
hairline.
yeah, just hairline
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
I bounced backwards. I grabbed hold of my head, just like whipped my beanie off, just started fucking rubbing it like. But I'm trying not to panic anyone, so I'm going, "I'm okay, I'm all right, don't worry, Dawn. You go in with Littlin, make sure she's okay. Please go and get in there and don't let her fucking see me." And I'm fucking rubbing my head. I'm like, this really hurts. This really fucking hurts.
Did you punch the wall?
No, I didn't punch the wall. I could have done. If there was something soft.
I did that the other day to the door. I walked in the house.
Oh, you twat punch.
Yeah, I walked in the house and my kneecaps got caught on the side of the door because the door was closing and it just kind of jolted my knee. I went, ah! And hit the door and then went, ah, my hand.
Yeah. It happens, don't it, man? I've done it when I used to work in kitchens, and you go in the freezer and fucking bang into something, you go twat and punch it, and you've just punched like a box of frozen chips, and you're like, fuck, my hand hurts. So yeah, I saw stars, and I'm like, oh, for God's sake. But I didn't want to cause any drama or any scenes or any panic. I didn't want to spoil the day, so I didn't say anything, and I just kept on walking around like as if nothing had happened. After about 20 minutes, I started feeling
Losing
sick.
consciousness.
Oh man, my stomach was turning. I couldn't. I'm talking, and I couldn't get the sentences out. But the worst part of it was,
I've completely reset my mind, but I don't want to worry anybody. Your mum, your beautiful wife, and your kids are wandering around this castle. Meanwhile, you're just mumbling to yourself.
so if you picture a castle, right, and if you go into a castle,
Yeah.
right, and let's say the castle's got like fucking 6 stories, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
massive. But the way it's deteriorated is the insides have deteriorated. So there's no floor.
Yeah.
Where the floors would be, there isn't one. So you can just look straight up. There's the top of the castle, right? They've built steps so you can go all the way up to the top.
Yeah.
And they put platforms where the rooms would be, and they say this is where Queen Elizabeth would have slept. This is where such and such would have happened. This is where somebody would have stayed the night. This is blah, blah, blah. The further I'm going up, the more sick I'm feeling. Now, I haven't got an issue with heights or anything like that, so we end up at the top, and at this point, I'm like, I am going to pass out. But I'm standing there and I'm reading this thing. I get halfway through it because I'm reading out loud. I get halfway through it and I just stop dead and go, I need to go. And I just walked to the other end, where I was like in between like two walls. So there was nothing, there was no open space or anything around me. And I just stood there, caught my breath. And I'm like, okay, right, you're all right. You're okay. So yeah.
You're all right. You've just been what you thought you were reading out loud, but really you were just mumbling really
Yeah, I was
loud.
just like,
Castle.
So, do you know what, man? Like, we got there about midday, and it shuts at 4, and we didn't leave until 4.
Sorry, mate. I've just got you semi-unconscious.
Yeah, just like,
just wandering around while Dawn,
drooling a bit.
Yeah, while Dawn and your kids are having a great time and walking around. He's like, "Where's your dad? Don't worry about your dad.
Don't worry about your dad. He's all right.
Just wandering
He's
around.
all right.
He's up there reading that board, Luke.
So they've got the everything's deteriorated, but you can still the way they've mapped it all out and everything. You can still picture where things were and what was going on.
Yeah.
But the gatehouse is still intact, and up until like the 1930s, I want to say somebody was living there still.
Would have been just before the war effort, probably.
So you go into the gatehouse and they've set it up as like an exhibition. So downstairs there's all the original furniture and stuff like that's in there, and when you go upstairs it's like an exhibition to Robert Dudley, who Queen Elizabeth gave the castle to Robert Dudley, and it's an exhibition about the pair of them because they were in love but they never married and they couldn't marry or blah blah blah. Yeah. But she stayed there overnight for,
Go on,
times.
Robert.
Definitely. His first wife died under suspicious circumstances.
Queenie threw her from the roof.
But yeah, they've laid that out really nice, and the stables is like the cafe and where they put exhibitions on and talks and everything. It was lovely. It was really really nice. So we leave, and I'm get back in the car, and I'm just like, the back of the car, like I'm slipping in and out of consciousness. I get home,
Pointing at stuff and shouting out the car window.
Yeah.
Sheep! Yes, Dad, that's a sheep. Well done.
I do that anyway. But I just like, I couldn't talk properly, couldn't get my sentences out. I'm like, fuck this, I've got a fucking concussion. And I went work the next day. I mean, I messaged work and I'm like, look, I'm just letting you know I've twatted my head, and I'm not getting sentences out, so I might be talking like a fucking idiot tomorrow. And I just got the reply of, nothing new.
Yeah, cheers, work.
Yeah, why would I expect anything less?
Yeah, thanks, guys. At that point, Dave deleted his text to me to tell me as well that he was like, this isn't going to go very well with my friends. They're just going to take the mick with me. Guys, I'm really worried. I'm mumbling and blubbering and everything. Yeah.
So the speech, it was really weird on Friday. It's been years since I've had a concussion, but on Friday, like, I'd just be in the middle of a sentence and I'd stop dead, and I just couldn't, like, and people are looking at me and I'm like, I can't get the next word out. I can say I can't get the next word out, but I can't say the next fucking word, whatever that's going to be.
Dementia.
And just nothing's happening, nothing's working. But yeah, Saturday, as luck would have it, the speech is better. But I've just had a fucking headache since Thursday, and it's dead muzzy at the front. I'm like, oh, okay.
And every time you touch it, does it hurt?
It's a bit tender. It's bruised. It's tender. I did twat it on a castle
Stone.
A castle that's been stood there since the 1300s. It's pretty hard.
Maybe not headbutt the castle next time.
I'll try not to. It's not on my list of things to do again.
No.
Yeah. So that was my Thursday.
I got attacked by a Karen.
No.
I did.
Oh, I thought they'd gone into hibernation for the winter.
No. I got full on attacked by a Karen this week, Dave. When did I get attacked by a Karen? On a Wednesday?
On a Wednesday. Ugh. The worst day as well.
The worst day
The
to get
midweek slump. What did you do?
I was. So I'm walking Scruffy, me dog.
Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Scruffy's not a intimidating dog. If you've never seen my dog, he's not an intimidating dog, and he's certainly not an aggressive dog. That's one thing that I'd never associate with my dog.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go out with my dog around Forest Park, I let him off his lead. And the reason I let him off his lead is because if I whistle twice, he comes back to me.
Yeah.
So he's well behaved, he's fully got recall, and there's no problem. Anyway, so off me and the kids are wandering around Forest Park, having a beautiful time. The sun's shining, Dave. I think it was Wednesday, I think it was. It was Wednesday or Thursday when it was sunny. Wednesday it was. Finished work, well, I didn't finish work early, just took the opportunity to take the dog and the kids out as it's half term and all of that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? And the dog went running round the corner, and there was a lady with her 5 girls that were with her, and they were walking their dog.
Yeah.
They were walking their dog.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That dog was on one of them, you know, them retractable leads that you have. So their dog's on one of them massive retractable leads. Anyway, Scruffy runs round the corner, and this woman just started screaming at me. And I just said, "Are you all right?" And she goes, I'm going to ring the police. This is very, very, very in an aggressive manner, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm going to ring the police because your dog's off a lead around the park. And I went, "You're going to ring the police because me dog's off its lead around the park during a dog walk?" She went, "Yeah, dogs aren't allowed off the lead in Forest Park." And I just went, "I'd love to see that rule enforced, but I'm walking my dog. I don't have a little dog. I don't have a little gay dog that's got its little harness on. I have to let him off his lead." I didn't say that. I just said, "Oh, I'm ever so sorry, Duck. Scruffy, come on." And he just came away from it.
Scruffy, for just so I can intersect into this, like, interject, sorry.
Yeah.
For people who've never met Scruffy, Scruffy is the most neediest fucking dog you'll ever meet. Like, if you shout him, he will come to you and he will not leave you alone.
Yeah.
He will just stay there and, like, look at you and go, "Why aren't you fussing me?" And then you fuss him. He will literally, like... And I understand he's a big dog and he's a strong dog. And I would understand somebody maybe going, where's he just come from? But calm your tits.
Yeah.
Just chill out, man.
She went, "Ah!"
Yeah.
So you're not considering that people could be scared of dogs. You fucking this, that, and the other. And I went, whoa, 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 whoa. I said, "You're out with your kids walking your dog. I'm out with my kids walking my dog. You go that way, I'll go this way." She said, "Your dog's not leaving me alone." I said, "No, it's because she's screaming like a banshee.
Stop screaming.
You're scaring me dog, and that's causing it." And then she said, "You don't know what it's like to be attacked by a dog." And I just went, "Okay." I don't. You're right. I said, "Actually, I think I was bit when I was younger."
Yeah.
I said, but
I
don't know what it's like to be attacked." And then she went, "Well, listen to this. I got attacked," and then she pulled a trouser leg all the way up.
Yeah, I don't care.
And I went, "Okay."
Maybe it's because you were fucking screaming at it.
I just said to it, and she's walking a dog as well, and her dog's been massively aggressive. It's a little dog. And all I said to her was, I said, "Look, I can't see this conversation working out well for either of us." I said, "So you go that way, darling, and I'm going to go that way." She went, "What did you just call me? Did you just call me fat?" I went, "No." I said, "You go that way, darling, and I'll go this way." And as I'm walking off with me kids...
She probably was fat, wasn't she?
Yeah. As she's walking off, she missed the joke. There was a joke and everything I said back to her, which was fantastic. And if you were a bit switched on, you would have gone. It was very, very, very layered. It was like Kendrick Lamar level joke. Do you see where I'm coming from? And as I'm walking away with my babies, she's following me. Like shouting. And I just turned around and went, "Fuck off."
Yeah, leave me alone.
I just turned round and really quietly and said, "I'm with my kids, you're with your kids." I said, "You're setting a really bad example. Now fuck off." And I just said it dead quiet. And it's fueled more stuff for me this week because I've started noticing things now.
Yeah.
And I keep getting like told to do things by people I don't know. Do you get this? Prompting.
Sometimes.
Like, "Can you hurry up, please?" It's like, mate, I'm paying for something at the till.
Yeah.
They've got to serve me.
Yeah.
Can you calm down?
Yeah, leave me alone.
And Stoke's got very much this way now.
It's very impatient. Yeah. Very
Everyone's
impatient.
in a big rush.
I've found, and this an example of this has happened. It happened yesterday, actually. People are very quick to blame everybody else apart from themselves.
Yeah.
As well, like that was your fault. That happened because of you. Why are you blaming everything else
Yeah.
in the world apart from what you just did?
You're petrified of dogs.
Yeah.
You've been attacked by a dog, and you're out here walking a dog scared of dogs. Can you not see the... I don't know if it's irony. I don't know if it's contradiction.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about that sentence that I fired back to her, but she didn't do the link.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not when I've
And this is not a moaning episode. This is just I got
Yeah.
attacked by a Karen.
when I've had dogs before, or my family have had dogs. You know, I whenever I've walked a dog, I don't take the dog off the lead. It's just me. I just don't do it because, and it's not because I don't trust the dog. It's not because I don't know that the dog won't come back or anything like that. Because we train our dogs properly. It's because of people like that. And I'm just like, I don't want to deal with that today.
But my issue is with that whole sentencing. Why am I bothered about? Why do I need to take in consideration idiots?
Yeah,
I never considered idiots before in my life.
Yeah.
Why am I considering them now? These are the people that would have died younger. These
You're
are the
being-
people that are
you
surviving now.
You are being inconsiderate towards me. I don't care.
No, I'm not being inconsiderate towards you though.
Yeah,
Because
and
you've
that's
got
the thing.
nothing to do with
That-
me.
Yeah, that's the thing. People, that's what I'm saying. Blaming everybody blames everybody else. You are being inconsiderate towards me. The world's fucking inconsiderate, Duck. Grow up.
Yeah,
Like,
deal with your
I
life.
don't have to consider your feelings because I do not know who you are. You are nothing to do with me. I don't care about your feelings. And that may sound horrible to you, but I also don't care about that either. I care about the people that I care about.
But it's
and
not-
your feelings have no impact on my life whatsoever. So please leave me alone.
It's not just that though. It's the mentality of I've been attacked by a dog. You must stand and listen, and you have to change your behaviour because of my fear.
Yeah.
And I don't think that makes a lot of sense. What she should have done is when she saw me dog, if she would have just gone, "Excuse me, mate, I'm scared of dogs. Can you put it on a lead?" I would have just gone, "No problem."
Yes.
And put it straight on his lead.
Yeah. It's the threats, in it? It's the threats when they're like, I'm phoning the police. Why?
No, I just went, "Well, phone them then."
Phone them then?
No, I did.
What?
I went, "Well, do you want to phone them? I'm just walking round here. Phone the police and tell them the crime of someone walking his dog and it's not on its lead. And we'll see how quick they get here."
Yeah.
What's that, 7 hours?
Yeah, phone them. Phone them. Phone them. I'll wait. Fuck it.
Oh, no, I'm not. They'll take them 6 hours, the police. They don't respond to burglaries. What do you think they're going to do to a guy off? Do you know what wouldn't surprise me? If someone rang up and all the police came.
Oh, they turned up, yeah.
Yeah, they would. They would write something on Facebook or take your dog off the lead.
You know what? I'm not gonna badmouth.
And I'm not going to turn it into a moany episode.
Yeah.
I'm just saying how he was attacked by a Karen.
I'm not gonna badmouth the police because it's a shit job. Like, the people they have to deal with. It's an absolutely terrible job. But I do think not individual police officers, but the system itself. It needs shaking up. Like a few years back, there was an issue in one of the places that I work where the license had expired, the alcohol license had expired, and so to keep the place going, the boss applied for temporary licenses. So you're allowed X amount a year. So if you were hosting an event,
Yeah.
and you needed like an alcohol license for 2 days, you can apply for one.
Yeah.
So he basically maxed out his year's worth of temporary licenses, so he could sell alcohol at the weekend, like Fridays and Saturdays. And then for the rest of the week, we put an offer on because there's no law against you giving it away.
Yep.
You can't sell it, but you can give it away. So we put an offer on: buy a meal, get a pint, like or a glass of wine, or a spirit in a mixer, whatever. Like, and there was a waiter, by complete accident, autopilot, put the beer on the bill, and then presented the bill.
Yeah.
And
Excuse me, take the beer off the bill.
but yeah, well, that would have happened if it was a real customer. Undercover copper, wasn't it? Sting operation. Coppers had come in to fucking to make sure that we weren't selling it. The waiter happens to fucking make the mistake and put one of the beers on the bill. They disappear. 2 days later, there must have been, and this is no exaggeration, about 20 police officers stormed the building
Yeah, that's too much.
to arrest the fucking
But this
boss.
is what America are getting
And it's
sorted
like,
out now.
what the fuck, man? Why? There's no need for that at all.
But it's the upside down of everything. So we've got a bunch of coppers ready to correct people. You put this on a bill. But burglaries and everything else are cool. So it's just we're a bit upside down in the UK at this moment in time.
And the thing is, as well, like if like you say, if that was a normal customer, if that was me, I'd have looked at the bill and gone, "Oh, I thought you got a free beer with your meal."
Yeah.
And the waiter would have gone, "Oh, sorry, yeah, my fault, autopilot. I'll go void it off." You know what I mean? So that whole situation wouldn't have happened in real life.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that it was an undercover copy and it was a sting operation, and they went, "There we go, that's the proof we need. Now let's storm the fucking building." Like, Jesus Christ.
You can imagine them all, can't you? With I don't like the look of it. Oompa,
Oh,
oompa.
mate, it was mental. Like, and the thing is as well, like we all had to get interviewed, and it was like, yeah, I know, it was ridiculous. So I sat down with this copper, and like he blatantly can't be asked to do this, and
Oh, was it like really
he was,
obvious?
he
This
was
is
just
boring
like,
to
so he's asking me the questions. The first thing I did, it was like, right, what's the deal? Do I need representation? And he's like, no, we've just got to ask you a couple of questions about the business, that's all. And I went, okay, no worries then. And he asked me a question, I answer it, and he's scribing, he's writing it down, but he writes down something that I didn't say. He wrote it in his own words.
Yeah, no, that's
But
not
when
what
it's,
he's. Yeah,
but yeah, when
yeah.
it's official and you can end up in court or something like that, I went, I didn't say that.
So let's go get me some representation.
Yeah, I'm like, I didn't say that. And he went, yeah, you did. No, I didn't. I didn't. That is not what I said. This is what I said. And he's like, it means the same thing. I'm like, yeah, but it's not what I said. If this is an official police document, that is not what I said. And he's like, all right.
Oh, we're opening a can. We're opening a tin of them.
There was one member of staff that was like refused to talk to them, and he got threatened with arrest. He was like, they were like, right, okay, well then we'll arrest you and we can have the conversation down at the station.
I would have gone, go on then.
And he was like, go on then.
What are you going to arrest me for? Not giving you giving you
He
my
was like,
opinion.
He was like, go on then, do it. We'll go down the station and do it then. At least it's official.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
At least I'll get some kind of representation.
He's actually, out of all of you there, he's the cleverest one.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
He's the cleverest one because all they've done is convert it into their own words, whereas that guy stood up on his soapbox and gone, oi, if you want to talk to me, you're going to have to arrest me and grab a solicitor because this is officially going to go down to a court record and my voice is on it.
Yeah.
Bagger
Yeah.
off. But anyway.
Yes.
Anyway,
that's enough of
That's enough moaning
moaning
from
of the
us too. We've had our moan. We've talked about the Karens and everything else. On Stoke-on-Trent, did you know what these streets are named after?
No.
Do you not know?
Why would I know that?
Mate, so where are we right now? So we're in the town of Etruria.
Etruria. Yeah.
Etruria.
I don't want to like really publish the street that I'm in.
I'm not publishing
the,
the street that we're in. We're in Etruria.
Yeah.
So Etruria, famously enough, was where Wedgwood factories and everything else
Yeah,
was
yeah,
at.
yeah, the canals and
Cavendish
everything,
all
yeah.
the canals, blah, blah, blah. All the streets in Etruria are named after pot bank owners.
Oh, okay.
You not know that?
No.
No?
No.
Have a look round, Dave.
Never
Lift your
bothered me.
head up a bit. Look around a bit.
Couldn't really. Yeah.
Look around. We're up the Trent now. We've got to look around, Stoke.
Got to start doing local things.
We've got to start looking at local. I've been looking at the news every day to try do an update of Stoke-on-Trent news. I'm not joking. It's the most miserable place on planet Earth.
The fucking, you know what, right? Stoke-on-Trent Live, since it got like bought out and it moved out of the area, and it's just not a local newspaper anymore. It's fucking terrible.
It's terrible.
And it's proper clickbaity and horrible. And when they put something up, let's say on the Facebook page, it'll go up once. Then it'll go up, so they'll share the link.
Yeah.
Then it'll go up again with just the picture and a short link. Then it'll go up again the next day with a picture and a different link. And then it'll go up again later on that day. 4 times they'll post the same fucking story. And the comments are always like, you don't have to keep posting this. We've all already read it. All right.
Like, I'll give you some
Stop
I'll give
it.
you some of the top headlines.
Go on.
Are you ready? This is the most depressing newspaper on planet Earth. So you wonder, we always talk about when people get interviewed in Stoke, why they think about what they think about
God.
Stoke. Anyone who gets interviewed in Stoke, and we've done our own research on this, we go, hey, this is Up the Trent podcast, blah, 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 blah. How are you? Meh. What do you think of the city? Shit. Where are you going? Burslem. Okay. What do you think of Port Vale football? Are you a Vale fan? Yeah. What do you think they're doing this season? Shit. Okay. Thank you. And
Yeah, there's nothing, is there?
that's
the best one for me was during the pandemic when they were in the Pottery Shopping Centre and they interviewed the guy and he kept on calling our former Prime Minister Joris Bonson.
Joris Bonson.
And it was just like, where do you find these people? Like, I know several people in this, I'll use the term city centre very lightly, in the city centre on that very day that you could have interviewed and got a really good interview out of. Like, but you went and chose that guy.
That guy.
And it's the same all over. You come to Stoke and you do your interviews, and it's just like, is it just a magnet for idiots? Like, interview somebody who's a bit more fucking compos mentis. Preferably not me on Thursday or Friday last week. Like, that would have been hilarious.
At that time, that would have been your moment to shine.
know,
For
yeah,
Up the Trent podcast, you would have been on ITV. All you've got to do, Dave, is drop the podcast in and smile at the television, and they would have gone, "Hey, so what do you think about the city centre?"
Yeah.
Okay.
I like spoons.
It's all right. It's got a Macca's over there. No, he's not with us today.
I did get stopped by BBC once in Hanley. They were, the fucking microphones and everything, and they were like, "Hi there, we're just here from the BBC. We're just doing some interviews. Can we ask you, do you watch the X Factor?" No. Carried on walking.
I got interviewed.
Of all the things they could have stopped me for, could have been about anything. It was like, "Do you watch the X Factor?" No. Okay then. Bye.
So growing up, I went to Margaret Ward. Mm-hmm. So I used to have the television crew quite often in there while I was at school because Robbie Williams used to go to Margaret Ward. And at the time when I was in the 3rd, 4th and 5th year, that's heyday.
Yeah.
So it was, the Prey was released, I think, when I was in the 3rd year, and then they broke up when I was in the 5th year. So that was, or the 2nd year, and then they broke up when I was in one or the other.
Yeah.
So, the first TV interview I was in for ITV, my friend did all the speaking, and I did have you seen Tagadella Nights?
Oh, yeah.
Ricky Bobby story?
Mm-hmm.
You know his first interview?
Shake and bake, baby.
Yeah, shake and bake. You know his first interview where his hands just start rising for no reason?
Yeah.
Yeah. In my first ever television interview, my friend's talking, Alex Broston's talking, and he's giving it brilliance. Right? He's got, "So what do you think of Take That?" "Oh, I think he's really good, that. He's represented our school nationwide and blah, 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 and blah." Meanwhile, he's saying this, and my hands are just rising. And I'm not even looking at anything. I'm looking directly into the camera. And when I say directly into the camera, I mean kind of with one eye in the inside. Like a complete vacant look across my face. And my hands just go, "You all right?" And they go, "What? Do you like Take That?" And I go, "Yeah."
Yeah.
And then my hands start rising again, and my mate keeps doing this with my hands. And every time he pushes them down, they go. And they start rising back up. My second television interview at Margaret Ward, it wasn't my hands that kept rising up. I kept looking away. It was like, in football, the look away pass in football whenever they're answering. Because what I must have done in the previous one, when I watched it back on television, because we all went round my neighbour's house to watch this TV interview, because Margaret Ward, we're on telly, Cleon's on telly, oh my God. So I'm watching it and I'm going, oh my God. And all my mates are laughing their nuts off. They're like, "Are you stuck in time?" "Well, we know you're not stuck in time because your hands keep bloody rising. So the only way you know Cleon's not paused." I'm like, they're looking, like dribble coming out the side. just me hands rising as I gaze into the camera. I know what it was. I could see myself because they've got
the monitors. Like,
they've got the monitors on.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at my monitors and doing this, going, "Oh, look at that, my hands moving." But on telly, it doesn't.
Like back in the day when you used to have a camera set up in front of an electronics store.
Yeah.
And the TVs in the window, and you'd walk past and see yourself, and you'd just be like moving from side to side.
Yeah, that was pretty much the first one. On the second one, you know, in football, the look away pass.
Yeah.
That one. I'm doing that, but interviewing. So ask me a question.
Do you know why the streets are got these names around here?
Oh, yeah. So the reason the streets have thought that, and I'm looking around the room, I'm turning round, I'm doing full 360s as they're talking to me.
Do you know, I used to have a bad habit of doing that if I was having a conversation with somebody. When I start talking, I'd look away, but I'd carry on talking, but I would be looking at anything apart from the person I'm talking to. I sometimes, even now to this day, I still do it sometimes, and I have to really concentrate to bring my focus back to the person.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the monitors again, and I'm going, yeah, that looks crap again. So again, we're all around the neighbour's house. We're watching it again, and it's like, Leon, I'll tell you again with Alex and all that. Look, we're doing the interview, Robbie Williams. Hey, this is amazing. Oh my God. And you go, oh my God. And they're going, well, at least you're not frozen in time and just moving your hands now. You're moving everything. Because I'm looking up, I'm looking round. The third interview, in the final one that I was invited to, because I did my best to push myself back in the queue for this one because I was vetoed on it. No. The third one, I was more concentrated, but I was yes/no answers. It was a bit like a news report.
Yeah.
So, do you like Take That? Yes.
Yes.
What do you think of Robbie Williams? Good. Favourite song? Pray. Is there anything else you want to add? No, goodbye.
No.
And just done.
Do you know what? Speaking of Robbie, bringing it back to Stoke, I had a collection at work the other day.
I saw that collection.
No, there's a backstory to it. So it's late on a Tuesday, late afternoon, early evening. I'm cashing up. I'm not too far from closing the doors, and a guy walks in with two of his mates or family or whoever with loads of massive metal record cases, like the flight cases that you can fit like 75 fucking records in.
Yeah.
He's got like 4 of them and then a slightly smaller one. And they dump them all in the middle of the shop for a start instead of bringing them closer to the counter. And then the guy, one of the guys, is carrying this huge box, like a box set kind of thing, and it's an Elvis Presley box set. He drops it on the counter, and he just looks at me and goes, "I'm after evaluation." Silence, like, after that. Now, I'm in the middle of I'm running reports and shit, like, I've got important emails to send, you know what I mean? I'm fucking making the big decisions here, like. I haven't. No, I'm running reports, I've got some emails to send and whatnot.
And rubbing your head while you do this.
Some figures, like, oh, this is before the headbang. And I went, right. And I just went, so for what purpose? And he's like, well, what do you think? And I'm like, well, I don't know. You've asked for a valuation. I said, we don't do valuations. I said, oh, you... What?
It's not the Antique Roadshow, mate.
Yeah. I'm like, what's your purpose for the valuation? Well, I want to sell them. What, to me or privately? What do you want? He's like, yeah, I want to sell them to you guys. I'm like, okay, sound right. Now we're getting somewhere. And then another lad goes. He goes, it's all Elvis, mate. And at this point, I'm like, oh, I ain't got fucking time for this right now. Like, because 90% of Elvis stuff, when people bring you Elvis stuff, 90% of it's worth fuck all. Like, but they don't understand that because it's Elvis.
Their emotional link to Elvis.
Yeah, because it's Elvis, so they think it's worth loads. It's like when somebody brings you a copy of Sgt. Pepper, and they go, it's the Beatles, it's Sgt. Pepper, put them together, it must be worth a fortune.
Yeah.
Could be. It could be, but odds are on favourite it's not. Michael Jackson's Thriller, that's another one. Biggest selling album of all time. It's not rare. Like, you know,
I hate that album.
Not worth that much.
My sister ruined Michael Jackson.
So I was like, right, okay, let's have just a quick look at what you've got. So they flip all the cases open, and it's predominantly box sets, and there's some really nice stuff in there. I'm like, oh, actually, that's pretty good stuff. Guy's obviously a big fan, so I was like, right. I said, I'm not too far away from closing. I said, it's going to take me a little bit of time to go through all this. I said, if it was just kind of basic records, I could have a quick flick and give you a rough idea. I said, with it being box sets, I'm going to have to take a little bit more time and go through them. And the guy goes, well, what time do you close? And I said, 5:30. And he went, well, you've got 45 minutes. Proper attitude, like. And I went, yeah, I've also got jobs to do. I said, which I'm in the middle of doing. I said, I need to get these jobs done. I said, I said, if you want a very, very quick answer, I can have a quick look through them and I can make you a really bad offer. I said, it's up to you. I said, or what I was going to say is leave them with me, leave a phone number, give me till tomorrow afternoon. I can have a really good look through them, check the quality, check the value of them, and then I can make you a better offer. I'm doing this so you can get more money. Like, I'm not doing it because I can't be bothered to do it now. I want to make sure you get a better offer.
You don't have to over-explain yourself here.
Yeah. I'm like, the guy's not getting it. He's not getting it. And he's like, I don't really want to come back uptown. You should have just gone with you then, bro. I'm closing now. Sorry. I mean, I've done that before, but like looking at the stuff he had, I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to say that. I'm going to bite my tongue, and I'm going to be like, well, look, it's up to you. If you can take them back with you if you want. I said, I haven't got time. I can't look at them now. I won't have the time. I said, but if you can give me till tomorrow afternoon, I can do them first thing in the morning. And I can get through them all, and I can phone you. And he was like, yeah, all right then. Yeah, that's fine, man. Okay, cool. Sound. Nice one. The next day, I go in, start working my way through the boxes. So I open the box up, I'm making notes of everything, blah, 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 calculating it all. I get to the fourth box, and it's all CD box sets in the fourth box. So I'm going through all them. But in the fourth box, there's another little cardboard box. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I pull that out last. I open it up, and that's what I sent to you. You've got all these Elvis box sets, some of them quite rare, and in the middle of it all is a box just full to the brim of Robbie Williams stuff. And we don't have a copy of I've Been Expecting You on CD in that shop.
Oh, yeah.
We don't. We have everything else. We don't have I've Been Expecting You. It's the only one I want to fucking listen to. We don't have a copy of it. And I'm like, this is everything. He's got fucking everything in this box.
Yeah.
Apart from I've Been Expecting You. Not in there. I've got everything else.
Mate, I think I've got about 4 copies on CD you can have if you want one.
He's got the deluxe edition of fucking Rude Box with the bonus DVD. Nobody needs that. He's got
Rude Box.
He's got the Christmas one from a couple of years ago.
That's good.
Like,
Good album.
Good album. I've Been Expecting You, you know. He's even got the American album. What was it called?
Ego Has Landed.
Ego Has Landed.
Or Ego A Go Go.
No, Ego Has Landed.
Ego Has Landed.
Robbie Williams,
yeah,
Ego Has Landed, which it's like a compilation of the first 2 albums, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's even got that in there.
It's like a greatest hits.
He's got the Japanese version of the Angels single. It's got like 8 tracks on it.
Yeah.
Like he's
Is
got
that the one with Sexed Up. I am the erection. Or it's supposed to be I Am the Resurrection on the B-side, but it's got the res bit cut out.
I can't remember what exactly is on there, but there's about 8 tracks. He's got all the different versions of Freedom.
Wow.
CD1, CD2, the cardboard slipcase CD, all them.
Oh, I'll take one of them.
He's got all them.
Yeah.
But he hasn't got I've Been Expecting You. He's got DVDs fucking galore. Live shows, fucking documentaries, the TV specials. Take That to the Circus Live, that was in there as well. The video.
Nothing to do with anything in this conversation.
Live VHS, everything apart from I've Been Expecting You. So.
I've Been
Just
Expecting
really
You.
random.
My favourite song off that's Man Machine.
Really,
Man Machine and Karma Killer.
The first 2 albums are fucking nice. The first 4 albums are nice. Just
5.
5. Which one are you doing? Swing When You're Winning as well? I don't count that.
You've got to count that.
It's a cover album. It's a
It's not a
compilation.
cover album.
I mean,
it's got some originals on there.
I mean,
like that.
studio album. These first 4 studio albums are classic. Swing When You're Winning is also a classic, but his first 4 studio albums are just
I
perfect.
think Swing When You're Winning is his high selling.
It is his high selling album. Yeah.
We did
It is.
discuss that, didn't we?
Yeah, on the old podcast.
Yeah. Sorry, the new podcast. Which album was Robbie Williams? He's the
It
high
was Swing When You're Winning.
There you go.
So, yeah, I just found it really random. Like all these really kind of like specialist Elvis box sets, not your usual Elvis tat that you get, but specialist Elvis box sets that, you know, some of them have got quite a bit of value in them, and then just a box full of Robbie Williams, which is like, I wouldn't.
The two go together.
Yeah.
Two are very similar but very different at the same time.
Yeah, unless it was somebody else's little Robbie collection. I don't know.
I think what they might have done there is, you know, when someone passes away and they go in the house and they go, all these records here, who gives a shit about Elvis? We'll go get rid of them and cash a quick buck. That's what normally happens.
So the whole like quick buck thing, he did make the mistake of saying out loud, I've spent the afternoon online looking at the prices of everything. So he knew what he had and he knew what they were worth. So I don't even bother going in with an offer at that point. I just phone them up and I say, right, you know what you've got because you told me that you've already had a look.
Yep.
Realistically, now bear in mind that I'm not buying this for my own personal collection. I'm buying it because I want to sell it to make some money.
Yep.
Realistically, how much do you want for it? And even though he was a bit of an arse on the day, on the phone, he was all right. And he came back with a good price. And I'm like, nah, I don't really want to pay that much.
Go pick him up, mate.
So then we did a little bit of back and forth, but he really did dig his heels in the ground. And I begrudgingly went, yeah, okay, we can do that.
Yeah, fair.
I can make a bit on that. I can't make as much as I want to, but I can make.
You can make a little bit.
So plus there was a couple of things in there that I wanted. So
well, here's a question for you. What's your favourite Elvis song?
Oh, fuck,
Well,
man,
we've got Elvis.
That's really difficult. That is really difficult.
If we're talking cabaret, for me, it's probably Suspicious Minds. For cabaret reasons.
I quite like Guitar Man. Nobody wants to hire a guitar man. That's pretty good.
I like In the Ghetto.
His latest flame. Marie's the name of his latest flame. That's pretty good.
And If I Can Dream for me.
Oh, yeah, that's a...
For me,
epic,
that's my
innit?
favourite Elvis song. You would have seen it crying Cleon when Newcastle lost in the cup final against Man United a few years ago. And I just went in a pub that was singing karaoke and whacked out If I Could Dream with my Newcastle top on, like nearly crying. If I can dream. The top of my voice.
The whole...
Murdered it.
Wednesday morning, going through that collection, I said to the boss, I was like, what's happening to me right now in my brain, sums up my personality and the type of person that I am perfectly. I said, being exposed to all of this Elvis material, but it's not just like shitty greatest hits compilations. It's literally like everything
Deep
from
cuts.
1955 or whatever, 56, through to the 70s. And looking at it all and reading all the tracks and blah, blah, blah. All I want to do now is go home and watch every single fucking Elvis film.
Yeah.
Even the shit ones.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
watch all of them. And that's just me all over. Like, I'll be watching something on the TV and something will catch my eye, or I'll hear a song and I'll go, who was that? Oh, that's such and such. And I'll get my phone out and I'll Google the band and then I'll Google the albums. And then I'll jump on Discogs and see if there was ever a vinyl press of that album. And it's like, oh, yeah, I might just buy them. Oh, I'll buy that. Sound. Because it just gets in me and I'm like, right, I've got to do this now. I need to go and fucking do all this. And I found myself like just going on Just Watch and like, are any of these fucking Elvis films streaming? Couldn't find any of them. And it's like, I think the Elvis estate is so very well protected
Yeah.
That, you know, they aren't just available and streaming on everything. Like, you've really got to go hunting for them if you want to. I mean, there are certain ways and means, Cleon, that we do not endorse on the show of ways that you can watch films that are maybe not available, but we don't endorse
I
activities.
don't endorse it, and I don't do any of it.
We don't endorse activities like that.
No, I'm not a fire stink wanker.
Yeah, no, me neither, actually. But yeah, so all I want to do at this point on the Wednesday is just listen to and watch Elvis stuff. I'm like engulfed in it, and then I have Thursday off. Go back in on the Friday and I start processing all of it. You walk in that shop, it's like a fucking shrine. Like, I've literally put them. They're just like, you walk in and it's like,
Elvis.
We are the Elvis shop. We only sell Elvis. Seriously, guys, if you're ever in Stoke-on-Trent, like, just come to Music Mania and just buy something that's Elvis just to get it out the fucking shop. Because now I'm sick and fed up of seeing him. It's like, he's only handsome for so long. Now I don't want to look at him anymore.
One thing that I was amazed with Elvis was he went right. He was perfect vocally, right up until his death.
Oh yeah, his vocals were always
Like
on point.
he
may have looked like shit, but
He might have been 72 stone.
in see-through. His skin
was like effervescent. But the one thing that you've got to admire is his voice never waned all the way through that, and it's just wow.
Yeah, for me as well. Like, you go through when you actually like kind of, you know, put it into chunks. You've got the breakout. You've got the Sun Records where people are like, "Who's this new black guy that's singing songs?"
Yeah.
And then you go, "Oh no, he's a white guy that's singing songs." And so you got the Little Sun Records era. Then when he gets signed to RCA and he gets his breakout singles and number ones, and then he's like, "I want to be the next James Dean." You know what I mean? I want to be in the movies. You know, I'm a rock and roll star and I want to be in the movies. I want to be an actor. So the Colonel fucking gets him his acting roles. And, you know, them first few films are really good. You know, he is good in the films. And he's singing his songs.
Singing his dialogue.
Yeah, we're going to win this race. I fucking love that song. Lemonade. That cool, refreshing drink. You know, but as you go through the 60s, like, and the Beatles are happening, and the British invasion, and Elvis is like, he's still Elvis. He'll always be Elvis. Like, but he's just starring in, like, worse and worse films as the years are going on. And it's the same film. He's just like, you just change the character. Elvis as a doctor. Elvis as a boxer.
Elvis to the hospital.
Elvis as a race car driver. But the storyline's the same.
Yeah.
He goes through all that, but then does the 69 comeback special.
Yeah.
And you watch that and you go,
Yeah.
That's why, right there. That is why he's the fucking king of rock and roll.
And then he went like that, and then figured out he didn't have a passport, and got stuck in Vegas.
Fucking, you just want, if it wasn't for the Colonel, if somebody else had just taken
If at
him,
that point of 69,
somebody just shook him,
he went
and
like
gone.
this and went, right, you need to get rid of this guy
Yeah.
because you don't have a passport, you're not touring the world, you're not doing anything else, the Beatles are invading, all you need to do is do a gig in England, a gig in Europe every year. So let's just do the same gig every year, and then we'll make more money than Vegas put together.
The British would have fucking lapped him up as well, because that's what we did in the 70s. You look at somebody like, you know, look at Neil Sedaka.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
what would the Irish have been like with Elvis in this? Christ.
Look at Neil Sedaka, you know what I mean? One of the greatest songwriters of the 50s, one of the greatest songwriters of all time, in all fairness, but, you know, hit after hit after hit after hit after hit in the 50s and early 60s. And then, like, the Beatles come along, and he's no longer cool. And you know, he ends up on the fucking, like, the working men club scene, the cabaret scene in the UK. And it was the UK and Australia that kept him alive, that kept him going. And
Relevant.
he's like, he's like, you know, this is what he does. And if you know, these markets are still interested in him, and he's always said, like, he appreciates them so much for allowing him to make a living out of what he enjoyed doing, and he wasn't proud. He's like, if I've got to go and play in front of 100 people somewhere, that's what I'll do. And it was the British that got him back into the charts, that got him relevant again. You imagine Elvis coming over, like,
It was
just
it was
it would have been ace.
best mismanagement of a singer in the world history, that is, because all it was he made everybody too much. It's same as Jackson.
Yeah.
He was at a point in his career where he was just making everybody else around him too much money.
Too much money. Just if somebody could have just have shook him and gone,
You're massive, bro.
stop this.
Just so you're aware, you're massive.
You are Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
Like, and let's go and fucking show the people who you are.
Let's just go and get on a plane. Let's bounce.
Let's get rid of this guy. We'll pay him off. Fuck him.
Give him 10%
He
of
can
everything you earn forever.
He can have his 10%. Fucking let him have it, but piss him off.
I'll take 5.
We did have a little we did have a little chat yesterday. We won't go into this now because you probably need some time to come up with the answers, but we were listening to the Travelling Wilburys yesterday, and we were on about, like, the way they came together, George Harrison, Jeff Lynne. If you could be in a band with anybody, who would you be in a band with? And it was like, being in a band with Roy Orbison and Bob Dylan, and this is how the band come together. And we were like, if Elvis was still alive, do you reckon they would have asked Elvis to be in the Wilburys?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And would it have worked, or would Elvis have just been too big a presence because he was like everybody's idol?
Well, I think in that case it would have just been a bigger band.
It's just.
Do you see where I'm coming from? It would have just been a mainstream band straight away.
Would it have worked? Because when you put them 5 guys together in the Wilburys, and if you say to me, I'm starting a band and these 5 people are in it, and then you play me the Travelling Wilburys, I will go, that is exactly what I thought this band would sound like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What if you could have a band and have anyone playing any instruments, who would you have?
Oh, well, this is the conversation that we the conversation that we got into.
And without thought and straight from the hip.
Oh, okay, so I would have probably Mike Patton on vocals. Who was in Faith No More.
Fuck you.
Yeah, Mike Patton on vocals.
Just took you straight out of my band.
Probably. Do you know, I would have said somebody like Dave Lombardo on drums, but I think more of like they have to be alive, I'm guessing.
No,
that opens it up then. No, I can't answer that straight away.
All I'd look for is a nice little trendy one. So I'd go Grohl on drums, just because I haven't thought about any depth of anything. I'd probably go Grohl on drums. I'd go Beck on guitar. I'm stuck on Beck.
I presume we're on about Jeff Beck and not...
Yeah. No, we're on about Jeff.
Not Beck, because Beck, the artist.
No, Jeff. Thanks. I'd have Stuart on vocal.
Yeah.
Rod.
Yeah.
I'd have. Now I've just changed my band again. No, I don't know.
I'd have the Faces.
Yeah, no. Well, as soon as I put Stuart in the band, I went, oh no, I've got to change all the background now. I need to go back into where I was before.
The question we asked, right, is, so the Travelling Wilburys was what, late 80s?
Yeah.
If a band was being formed today, and it was the Travelling Wilburys of today, right, who would be in the band? Now, we're not going to get into that now because it's going to take forever. We can talk about that next week. But we need similar kind of time frames. So, when was the Travelling Wilburys album? Let me just have a quick...
Harry Styles on lead vocal.
Well, it's the Wilburys, isn't it? So they all sang. They all wrote, they all sang, they all played.
19... See, you're not that talented nowadays.
1988, right? So what we tried to do was have a similar kind of distance of time between the artist in the prime in 1988. So Roy Orbison, you know, late 50s. Right?
Yeah, he's not. Yeah,
So let's just say 1958, right? So that's 30 years. So it's 2025. So you need somebody who was in the prime 30 years ago, right? And then you've got, you know, George Harrison, 63, 64, 65. You've got, you know, Jeff Lynne, ELO, 70s. Tom Petty, 70s. You know what I mean? Bob Dylan, 60s.
so I could go Grohl on drums.
You could go Grohl, but don't necessarily need a drummer. We don't need a band putting together with a drummer or a bass player. We need 5 guys that can come together. They can all sing a song. They can all play a bit of instrument. You know what I mean? I'm pretty certain we can come up with people who can play drums and whatnot. You can get session musos in to play the drums.
Yeah.
We just need 5 guys that could come together and be the Wilburys today. And you can put that band together. At work we did come up with a lineup, and there was only one person in it, which I was like, "Fuck, I really don't want him in the band, but he's gonna have to be."
Who's the lineup?
Nope.
Oh, you're not giving it me?
No, not on air anyway.
Okay. Well, on that note, I'm gonna seg into footy.
Yes, let's do the football.
Because today, Dave,
get out of
I
the house.
am going to watch Captain America: A Brave New World.
Oh, so you're not watching Newcastle Notts Forest?
No, I'm not. Yeah. No, I'm not. I've got to go and have family time again. Anyway, that aside, so yesterday in the Premier League, we kicked off with Everton versus Manchester United, which is my favourite of all football teams at the moment, Dave. And I'm not talking Everton, I'm talking Manchester United. Just because I don't know how bad they are going to get until they go, do you know what? I think this is a really stupid idea that this manager keeps doing. We're losing every week, regardless of who we're playing. But they didn't lose yesterday. They went storming down 2-0 away at Everton and pulled it back to a respectable 2-2. Now, let's just take a look at where Manchester United are in the table. Manchester United are in the table. Now, the emphasis isn't being given enough gravitas to this. It's not. This is Manchester United, Dave. Yeah? Currently 15th in the table.
I read something yesterday.
This is Manchester United, Dave.
I read something yesterday that it said, now I have not worked out the maths on this, but it just said Manchester United are 3 losses away from being in a relegation battle.
Well, if Wolves and Ipswich, don't get me wrong, they're on 30 points. Now, in relegation, you're on 17, and 9 points. So they're a very, very long distance away.
It only takes, a couple of
3
wins.
wins for Ipswich.
Yeah.
And a couple of draws for Wolves and a couple of draws for West Ham puts Manchester United in a relegation battle. However, in football, we know a few things to be certain. Are Ipswich all of a sudden going to turn into prime Brazil 1970? No. So, yes, it could happen. And if my mum had a dick, she'd be my dad. Yeah, so let's...
Not necessarily these days, Cleon.
No, but
it's 2025, mate.
It's confusing times for us all.
It's confusing times for us all.
Let's not get into what could happen if 4 other things needed to happen for that thing to happen. Yeah. So anyway, Everton drew at home to Manchester United with Manchester United 2-2. Bournemouth lost at home to Wolves 1-0. Whereas if you take a look at Bournemouth's results, that's mad as pants as well.
Yeah.
Arsenal lost at home to West Ham in the local North London derby, which again is mad as pants.
Yeah.
Fulham lost at home to Crystal Palace, who're having some great form. Here's a mad result. Tottenham actually won it away to Ipswich 4-1. I've got no idea who scored them goals for Tottenham. I'm going to have a quick cheeky look. Oh, no one interested. So Tottenham won 4-1 away at Ipswich. Southampton got battered again 4-0 by Brighton, which is kind of the coupon guaranteed. Go bet whoever's playing Southampton and go chuck your money on them and you get some money back. And Aston Villa went 1-0 down to Chelsea and came back storming. And I think, and this is something else as well, who got 2 assists for Aston Villa?
Hey, Rashford.
Who's Rashford not good enough for?
Everyone else.
Manchester United, who've loaned him out to Aston Villa, who are 7th in the table, and he's got 2 assists yesterday in his second game. In his first game, he got 1 assist. Remember, Marcus Rashford isn't good enough for Manchester
Not good
United,
enough.
who are
No.
currently 15th in the table.
Yeah.
Stop, football world. I want to get off. You're making no bloody sense, Manchester United fans. Acting like a bunch of morons. I went to another football match yesterday.
Yeah.
I went to watch the mighty Port Vale against Salford.
Yeah.
And do you know what, Dave?
Yeah.
Vale played bloody amazing.
Yeah. You said.
I
Yeah.
absolutely... That sounded like Gary Barlow then.
I absolutely had a fantastic day out.
It was a great football match. It was a football match I actually had a great seat for. And I was watching that football match intently.
Yeah.
Bit of a weird day. I watched a guy get carried out for talking to Boomer.
Oh.
Yeah, a bit of a weird moment in my career at Vale. So, Boomer's bloody Boomer, the mascot.
Yeah.
Whoever's dressed up as Boomer, Terry. I can see your body shape, matey. So it's.
I used to.
Do you get what I mean? You know when you recognise someone's shape.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I used to know the lad who was Boomer.
I did as well, and his dad.
In the 90s.
Yeah, and his dad. I mean, his dad did it, didn't
Yeah.
he? He started that. Anyway, so Boomer's standing in front of the home end, which used to be Vale's away end now. Vale's weird for me now. But anyway, and he's just standing there, and the crowd are singing, and all the kids are going Boomer, because the kids love Boomer.
What's not to love?
Yeah, but
Look at him.
it's a great mascot, and everybody who plays Boomer takes their time out to talk. Well, not talk, to interact with all the kids,
Yeah.
which is fantastic. So I think that's whoever's playing it, great at doing that. Anyway, so he's facing the football pitch, and a guy jumps over because a few people are telling him move. They go, Boomer, you're kind of on next to the pitch, and you're watching the match, which is fine.
Yeah.
But could you just do us all a big favour, please?
Move down a bit.
Could you just move out there? Because he's literally, the goal's
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
standing there, Boomer. So everyone's going, hey, move! Move, Boomer! Like, and that's what's happening. And then a guy who's drunk as a monkey. He's having a great time.
He's having the time of his life.
Having the best time. He jumps over the wall to ask Boomer to move. So he taps Boomer on the shoulder. Now, this doesn't seem like a big thing, and people who go watch football matches can't grasp how much of a scary thing this is.
Yeah.
You can't grasp it. So a guy jumps over the thing, and he taps on Boomer's shoulders, and Boomer turns round. And he's like, what the... Who the... And he's not a small bloke. He's got a big, happy, cheerful smile on his face. So all the stewards go... Massive overreaction. And he goes, you're going to have to go now, mate. And we can hear him because I'm about as far away from him in the conversation as I am you. And my kids are going, this is amazing. This is amazing, Dad. And anyway, they said, you're going to have to go out. And he says, mate, come on. My kids are there. He says, I'm sorry I asked Boomer move, but we're all shouting and stuff like that. I'm going to get back in with my kids and I'll go out. And they went, no. We're going to throw you out. And he says, well, if you're going to throw me out, you're going to have to carry me out. So with that, all the old stewards came and they carried him out. Quite literally carried him out.
Wow.
He was waving as he was being picked up. He was like, you really going to go through with this? And he was like, yeah, so there was a bit of a get the hell off me and throwing his hands around. So he's going to get done for assault there.
Yeah.
And then he just got lifted by these stewards and just carried out. But you imagine that being the mascot.
Yeah.
And being turned around. He could have had anything.
Could have had
He
anything,
could have
yeah.
anything in his hands and everything else. So Vale did really, really well. Anyway, on to the football. An amazing, amazing match, which Vale controlled the whole way through. Considering where Salford are in the table,
Yeah.
I am very surprised because the standard of Salford is very low. And I would have thought their standards would have been higher, considering who they linked to. You know, the class of 92,
Yeah.
all of that pizzazz. But yeah, absolutely amazing football match. And Vale have done some great things to the ground. You know them interactive AV map things?
Yes.
You got them at Vale.
Ah,
You can order your food now.
very nice.
So I love that type of stuff. Right, I can just order me food for half time on my app, and then I can just walk up and someone's getting shoving hot dog in my hand. Mega.
Lovely.
Sorted. That's my day. That's my day done. I like that type of
Yeah.
stuff, and Vale's becoming that type of club.
Cool.
Yeah, and I think everyone from Carroll yesterday really, really put a smile on my face.
Oh, that's good.
Because I've been down about Vale
Yeah,
for
yeah.
bloody ages, and if you listen to the previous podcast, you go, what a load of crap. And
Yeah.
I went yesterday, and all I got was happy fans, which is very rare.
Yeah.
Everyone was dead happy. It was all full of kids, and the kids knew all the... So, you know your half-time holiday schools, your
Yeah,
holiday
yeah,
football activity schools, where you...
Yeah.
I do it myself. We pay a fee and kick the kids and play football all day, every day. Well, on you buggers. All the kids who were there, they all had the tickets from the football because they'd all taken part in the football week or the football activities and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And all the coaches that are walking round, they're interacting with the kids. Hi guys, and all the kids are talking to
Yeah.
each other. So it gave it, for me, it gave it that community feel. You know where I'm coming from, and they got the win as well at the end of the day. So I just thought, for me personally, Vale yesterday was really top draw. Sun was out. We got Uber to Moorland Inn, couple of beers, walked down through Burslem Park.
Yeah.
Couple of beers, pie and hot dog. Felt horrible. Felt horrible. Can we get rid of Pucker Pies, please, Vale, and bring Wrights back in? Just a request. I'm not a one for Pucker Pies, mate.
You're not a Pucker Pie fan.
I'm not a Pucker Pie fan. Get me a Wrights pie. And then basically walked all the way back home. So, you know, on the Salt Line, that goes through the middle of Burslem.
Yeah.
Just did that all the way up through Cowbridge, up to Snee Green again.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely
No,
love
it's
it, though.
man. It's nice to end the show talking about Vale in a positive light.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And to make it even more positive, the Neckenders lost.
They did.
I'm not
They
calling
did
them.
lose.
I'm not calling them the club name no more.
No.
I am referring to the dark side of Stoke-on-Trent as
side.
the Neckenders.
We don't need to go there.
No.
It's the place where we don't
I do
travel
not
to.
need to be positive about the whole of the city.
Well, they're also fucking close to being in a relegation battle. You know what I mean? It's only going to take a couple more losses and a couple of wins below them. It's
I don't know what's going on at Stoke because every time they get a good manager, he has like 2 losses and then he gets fired. So I've got no idea what type of programme Stoke are doing. I think they've had something like 6,000 managers this season. Slight over-exaggeration. I think they've had 9 managers in as many years.
I don't know.
Or 10 managers in as many years, or 12, or something like that. But either way, that doesn't show a consistent level of success if you've got that many people coming in and out. And what's boring me about Stoke fans is it's kind of like they're going, I don't know why we keep losing. I don't know why. And then the manager wins 2 games, and then he loses one, and they go, right, let's sack the manager and get somebody else in.
Yeah.
It changes the whole team again.
I do. I often see, Stoke fans who I know, like mates who I know, after every game, even if they win, after every game, it's like so like negative about the team, and it's I don't know. Maybe it's because they've had the few years of glory in the Prem, and
The thing is about Stoke, they were very, very good in the Premier League, and they had a solid football team under Pulis. What happened then was they went to push on for that extra bit.
Yeah.
And they got that extra bit for 1 season with Mark Hughes. And then Mark Hughes couldn't take it because they weren't going to back him to that next bit. So when they got to 8th in the Premier League, Stoke, and they finished the season, 1 season in 8th.
Yeah.
Which is, for Stoke's size and everything else, is amazing. But what you have to do at 8th as a club, you all sit round, and this would have happened somewhere in the background, you all sit round and you go, right, what are we going to do next season?
Yeah.
Are we going to build on 8th, or are we not going to build on 8th? And what they did, they purchased a load of shit. There's too many players that they bought that were just... And they got rid of the players like your Etheringtons, your Walters, the ones that were the workhorses of the team.
Yeah.
And you can't get rid of all those players in the same time and replace them with luxury players.
Yeah.
Because the work rate just doesn't produce.
Yeah.
Simple as that, really. And you could see it coming from 50 miles away. The only people that couldn't see it coming were the Stoke fans and the board.
Yes, indeed.
And today we have the mighty Newcastle United against Nonhuth. And we've got at 4:30 Manchester City versus Liverpool.
Oh,
Come on.
come on. That'll be... I might watch that myself.
Oh,
Might put that on myself. A little bit of background noise. I say background noise. Like, I might just have it on and not pay attention to it as well. But you know what I'm like, Leon.
yeah, so I'll get back. I will get back from New World around that time.
Okay.
Because it's 2 o'clock showing.
And we can talk about...
A Brave New World, yeah.
next week.
It's been slammed by the critics.
Yeah.
It's been whitewashed antique, that film. It's been... Oh, God, that's a bit of a weird saying for that one. It's been completely washed by critics.
Yeah.
But with superhero movies, I don't like to go off what the critics say
go
because,
watch
quite
it, yeah,
honestly, I want to watch it because I'm a superhero fan. I'm not a movie fan.
Yeah.
I don't go to the movies to go, oh, it was shot in 15.8. It was shot in 15.8. It was amazing. I don't care.
I'm going to try and get to it myself next week as well. Didn't get a chance this week. But yeah, definitely going to go try and go see that next week as well. So that'll be something for next week. And until next week, a big thank you to everybody that listens to us. For everybody that listened to the old show and that have moved over to the new one, we appreciate you. And to all the new... We've had quite a nice little following of new people on the socials, people who I haven't seen before who've jumped on board and checking us out and seeing what we're all about. So yeah, a big thank you to the people that do follow us on our socials, and please, more of you come on board and give us a little follow on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Up the Trent. We're on X. That is
Dun, 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 dun.
that is Up the Trent as well. We are also on Blue Sky. Just search Up the Trent. And
We need to do YouTube.
And we do need to do YouTube.
That'll be next week.
That is coming. We're doing YouTube. It's coming soon. And we're on Instagram, Up the Trent Podcast on Instagram.
Yes.
Which I might just change that to Up the Trent as well, because everything else is Up the Trent.
Everything else
Let's just
is.
change
We
that
might
to
as well
Trent.
go
But yeah,
that
Up
way
the Trent
as well.
Podcast at the moment on Instagram, and follow us on whatever your favourite podcast platform is. We're available wherever podcasts are available, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, blah, 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 blah. Just search Up the Trent without a paddle. And don't forget, you guys are awesome, and we'll see you next time.